Haley, how can I memorize all those vocabulary? Vocabulary is so difficult to memorize. Annoying. 안녕 친구들, welcome to Korean Haley channel. Today, I'll talk about vocabulary. What is the most difficult part of learning language? Is it grammar? Vocabulary? Reading? Listening? Many people say vocabulary is the hardest one because we need to memorize every day. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you 3 ways to memorize vocabulary. Step 1. Memorize basic nouns. Let's think about the time that you were really young. You started learning your mother tongue with really easy vocabulary. For example, sofa, bed, TV, chair, like the basic vocabulary. Korean is also same. You have to memorize the basic nouns based on topics. Let's say the topic is furniture. And you can learn 의자, 소파, 책상, 침대, 책장. Memorize vocabulary based on topics. And then your brain will categorize the vocabulary so that you can memorize it more easily. And one more tip in here, use post-its. If you have refrigerator, write 냉장고 on a post-it and put it in the refrigerator. When you're walking by refrigerator, and then you can see that word, and then you can re-memorize that word again. Step 2, memorize verb and adjective with short sentences. When you memorize the nouns based on topics, and then it's time to memorize verb and adjectives. And then you might have question, why do I have to memorize verb and adjective after nouns? Because for memorizing verb and adjectives, it's much easier when you put it together. Suppose that I want to memorize vocabulary eat, 먹어요. And when you try to memorize 먹어요, 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 it's not easy to memorize it. But when you think of eat an apple, so apple, 사과를 먹어요. For example, like short sentence, and then it's much easier for your brain to memorize it because you can imagine 사과, apple 먹어요. Eat apple, 사과를 먹어요. And also, if you memorize in this way, you can make sentence more easily because only changing this part, you can make tons of other sentences. So, 사과를 먹어요. 망고를 먹어요. You can make other sentences as well. And if you want to memorize vocabulary with me, with the method that I told you today, I made 21 day challenge that you can follow every day with me little by little. You're not going to give up. You're doing every day for 21 days so that you can memorize all those vocabulary within 21 days. Step 3, watch Kdrama and listen to Kpop. What? Watch Kdrama and listen to Kpop? Is that all? Yes. This is the method that I did actually. After I memorized all those basic nouns and verb and adjectives, I tried to watch dramas and listen to pop songs. I watched this drama when I was young. While watching the drama, I listened carefully and I tried to catch some vocabulary that I don't know. In one episode, she said, "Did you trim your hair?" I didn't know the meaning of trim. And then I was like, what is trim? Trim? And then I wrote it in this kind of just notebook and I wrote it, trim. And then in the context, I felt like trim is like cut hair. So I searched the dictionary and then I wrote it down in this notebook. I collected all this vocabulary that I didn't know for a week. And then I found the book is full of English words. So on Sunday, I tried to memorize all those vocabulary. But how can you memorize all this vocabulary on Sunday? Good thing about this method is I know the context of the vocabulary. So when I see that vocabulary, it reminds me of that episode. It's not a random vocabulary. This is the vocabulary that I've seen in the scene, right? So my brain is really happy to memorize all the vocabulary here. So it took only less than 30 minutes to memorize all those vocabulary on my notebook. So these are the 3 steps that you can memorize vocabulary easily with fun. I used to be really stressful memorizing vocabulary, but with these steps, it gets much easier for me. I hope that you can use this method, and if you think it's really hard to do it by yourself, I opened 21 days challenge in my website. This challenge is about we do memorize the vocabulary together. It has 5 levels. With level 1 and 2, it's about Hangul, and 3, it's about must-know nouns, and then step 4, must-know verb and adjectives. So I put must-know vocabulary based on topics in here so that you can memorize vocabulary easily with me. And level 5, you can learn sentences over here. If you struggle memorizing all those vocabulary, I'm here to help you, so don't worry about that. If you want to join my 21 days challenge, I will put the link in my description so you can check it out too. Thank you so much for listening vocabulary tips. I hope you can memorize all those vocabulary easily with fun. 친구들, thank you so much and see you next time. 안녕!